Welcome back, everyone, to another Murph Plays Metroid II for Game Boy. Oh, last time we played, we were hunting down Metroids and, not doing too bad at it, if I do say so myself. We had just gotten the Varia suit, I believe. We got ourselves a wave beam. I have no idea where we are. Okay, I know where we are, I think. Yes. And we have 26 Metroids left, which is still quite a few. I was hopeful that this stream would only take a couple of, or this game would only take a couple of sessions to beat. We're on, what, session number 2? So I feel like we're doing alright. Doing pretty good. Doing pretty good. Okay, so we've cleared out that area, and we've cleared out that area. We need to get down to there. Sorry, just checking out the map to see where we should be going next. So, I made a mistake in my thinking process earlier, because one of the things I'm trying to do, one of the things I'm trying to get set up for, is I would like to be playing Metroid Prime. Sorry, checking the map here again. We want to go down. When we get to Metroid Prime, I would like to play wearing the fusion suit, which is a bonus that you acquire from beating Metroid Prime and connecting your game to Game Boy Advance. With a Metroid Fusion game pack. I have the Metroid Fusion game pack. I have beaten Metroid Prime before. I deleted that save file, though, like a long time ago. So, gotta do it again. in order to unlock the fusion suit again. But for some reason, I was thinking I needed to beat Fusion in order to unlock the fusion suit, but no. What I need to do is I need to beat Metroid Prime. So I put all this time and effort into... okay, so we've been that way. We want to not go that way. We want to go this way. But anyway, I put all this time and effort into playing Metroid Fusion recently so that I could be ready to play Metroid Prime with the bonus. And I should have been putting time into the Prime save file that I have. So, I don't know if we'll have the fusion suit ready to go. When I had hoped to have it ready to go. That said, we're still going to play Prime once we've beaten this and Super Metroid. Because we'll be playing Fusion and Prime, hopefully at the same time. Though, we're probably going to beat this before we beat Super Metroid. And if that happens, we're just going to do Super Metroid both days. Monday and Thursday. Until we beat that one. Okay. Where am I? I am there. I'm trying to get there. Okay, let me zoom in and isolate that part of the map so I'm not wandering too far. And so I have a better idea of where I'm going. 'Cause I'm gonna need it. Metroid games are notoriously confusing, but for good reason. Their whole thing... is my audio already off? Sorry, I might have to do that a few times during the... during the stream. I'm hoping not, but I might. I messed with some settings. And now, every once in a while the audio desyncs from the video. I don't know which setting I need to change to get that back. And I don't know what setting I need to have it on to fix it. All I know is it's super annoying. So, we might have to deal with that for a few streams. I'll try not to make it too regular that's a thing. But something I noticed from last time we were playing, Fusion, or no, not Fusion, what am I thinking of? Super Metroid. We were playing Super Metroid, and the problem we ran into there is every time I would get hit, and Samus would start flickering on the screen, in the video, she appears to go invisible. Now, while I'm playing, I am not seeing this on the screen that I'm watching while I'm playing. I'm pretty sure it's a frame rate issue. Like, %90 sure. I just have to figure out, like, what the proper frame rate setting is for the capture card and everything, and it should be fine. Well, as I was messing with that, okay, that's just a recharge. That's not an actual pick the thing up. Alright. So we go up and over. So anyway, that was a problem though with the Switch card. GameCube runs on a different card. But I figured while I was at it, I'd try to fix the some issues that I was having with the GameCube card, which, as some of you are aware, that's the same one I'm using for this. But, problem I ran into there was I upset the frame rate. What are you? Space jump! Ooh. Hey! Pretty sure that's almost entirely unnecessary at this point with the spider ball and everything. Because I don't know of an area that I'm gonna need that necessarily. Yeah, well. We'll see what happens. But anyway, let's see, there is one more upgrade if we go that way. Okay. Space jump! Not the easiest thing to control, but it can be handy. I guess. I know a few seconds ago I said, what do I need that for? I have the spider ball. And then I remembered, oh yeah, wall spikes, because there were wall spikes. We can't spider ball over wall spikes. Sometimes the way is blocked. Okay. Missiles. You know, that's the thing I wish this map had on it. Save points. It does not appear to unless they're just really, really tiny and I'm not seeing them. But everything on this map is really, really tiny. Okay, so if I go that way and drop down, I think before I do that, okay. I think I see the game here. Ah, come on. Yep. Oh, and Samus doesn't grab onto things very easily in this one. So what I'm trying to go for here is the energy tank. Because there is supposed to be an energy tank over here somewhere. But I gotta get over to that bit of wall. Okay. We did it, I think. There. Oh, they make that complicated. Okay, so there's... Ah, my audio's desynced again. I wonder if that's why I had them as separate devices. Because that would certainly have made sense. I might have to put my my audio as a separate track. Seriously? Are you gonna go up? There we go. Oh, come on, you could have jumped, Samus. Ugh, getting out of here is going to be a pain in the butt now. Alright, the further over this way we go, the better. I don't feel bad about missing that. It was just a health fill thingy. I don't really need one of those. What I need is this. Alright. Yeah, close enough. Samus, learn to freaking jump. Oh, Spazer. Didn't I have Spazer at one point? I don't remember. There's no charge beam attack anymore. Of course, I don't know if there ever was. Okay. So... Of course. I will get used to controlling this spider ball eventually. I was kind of hoping for a screw attack, but we'll have to come back to this one, I think. Let's see. If we go that way... This looks treacherous. We got through it anyway. Okay. So far, so good. Yay! We did it! We have completely wrecked our health, but we did it! Alright, speaking of health... the thing we were after the whole time. Yeah. All right. So So... we need to try to make our way back. I'm seeing some tunnels and stuff up here, but I don't think there's anything to explore in them. Yeah, no. I mean, it looks like a spot where they could have hit a missile, but chose instead not to. I don't know why they do that, but I mean, it is a Metroid game. They do a lot of very weird stuff. That's why we play these. All right. I don't think that was on the map. Oh wait, no, it definitely was on the map. I went further than I expected I had gone. So yeah, we go this way now. And plasma beam. Yeah. Like, I don't know if we actually want the plasma beam right now, or if that's just a really fun idea. Oh, hold on while I interpret this map here. Because we killed that one. We skipped that one, so we'll want to fight that one on our way back through. And then there's those two, but to get to those two, we gotta come at it from over there. So we gotta come back down. That looks like a save spot. Yeah, okay. I think I know where I'm going. So that tears right through them. One thing I find interesting is the Super Metroid. You can turn off some of your upgrades. Yeah, we're coming back for you, buddy. Don't worry. Okay. You know, you could make it easier to fight you. Well, hello there, Knitting Link. Ah! Okay, we're gonna do it this way. There we go. Okay, so we took that one down. Yeah, we just got those two to go. Now. There we go. Aha! Found it. All right. So what's on the menu for dinner tonight there, Knitting Link? I think that I want to go this way. There we go. All right, and down and around, and gotta be careful not to get hit. Oh boy. Pizza on Metroid Mondays. Ooh, now we're getting treacherous here. Okay. There we go. Whew. That was scary. Just trying to backtrack my way out of this cave. Oof. Getting claustrophobic. Now, 1 second here. There we go. Hey, Ube. Welcome back to the chat. Pretty good. We've just been doing this so far today, and not dying. No deaths yet. We've gotten quite a few upgrades. Like, quite a few upgrades. I don't know if all of the upgrades, though, are going to be good. Like, we went from having the wave beam to having the spazer to now we've got the plasma beam. And we did that in a very short amount of time. So, I don't know if that was necessarily what we had wanted to do. Or if this was one of those things where, oh, we really should have come back for that later kind of deals. But, oh wait, I have a missile refill down here, don't I? Let's go get that. There we go. You know Metroid. Sometimes it makes you come back for some stuff. And while I do have the guide, I haven't really been paying much attention to it. I probably should, though, you know? I mean, there's a reason I've come to depend on the guides. Oh, we don't want to go that way. Here I was hoping for a cheap, easy refill on my health. But I think we're just going to have to navigate our way back for that. Ah! There we go. All right. Okay. We need more health, although there's a save station here, isn't there? There is. Okay. Let's see here. If we go that way. I think, honestly, the closest way to get a full health refill is just going to be to go back to the ship. It's a little bit of a trek, but, you know, gotta do what you gotta do sometimes. Ah! It would help if we didn't die on the way back there, though, of course. I'm told that's how the pros do it. Oh, jeez. There we go. Alright, let's see. Yep, there we go. Oh. So I have a pretty fun day ahead of me. I have to do research for tomorrow's podcast. And we're going to be talking about a very interesting topic. Or at least one that I find quite interesting. We're going to be talking about PSYOPs. Psychological warfare that governments have used to not only gain an advantage in war, but sometimes even used against their own people. Might end up being a bit of a controversial topic, though. Because we are also going to be talking about the ways in which law enforcement uses some similar tactics to entrap people when they're interrogating them, coerce confessions, that kind of thing. A lot of people, you know, they're of the mindset that law enforcement is to be respected. Cops have a very hard job. And I'm not debating that cops have, you know, a very difficult, very dangerous job to do. But sometimes sometimes they go to very uncool lengths to get the job done. And sometimes what they consider getting the job done doesn't actually get the job done at all. It just puts somebody behind bars. Not necessarily the right person, just someone. How do we come up with these topics? Well, we're only on episode 7? 6 or 7. So we haven't delved into a whole lot of them. But we have a very broad acceptance of what we'll talk about on the podcast. Because it's essentially a podcast about the weird stuff people believe. And not just what they believe, but like weird stuff in general. Supernatural, spooky, true crime, psychological, weirdness. Like just the weirder parts of human nature and the random weird rabbit holes you can find on Wikipedia. So we can basically go anywhere with whatever topics we feel like discussing. And the reason we came up with this one is in, I think it was not the last podcast, but one before it, maybe? We got to talking about how the government, the U.S. government, during the Vietnamese War, I think it was the Vietnamese War, Vietnam, I think. We stumbled on the Ghost Tapes, or Ghost Tape 10. And what it is it's an audio recording of someone saying in Vietnamese over some really spooky music and spooky sound effects and whatnot that the soldiers need to stop fighting because, you know, they'll end up as a ghost. Yeah, it's playing on the superstitions of Vietnamese culture. It's a very creepy tape. There was some very interesting production values put into it. It triggered this whole discussion, though, on PsyOps. Yeah, the tape is available on Wikipedia, in fact. If you go to, like, I think if you just do a Wikipedia search on Ghost Tape 10, you'll find the page on the PsyOps thing. And it's got, up in the corner, on the page, like a 3-minute audio clip from the tape. It's really difficult to listen to because the audio is designed to be uncomfortable. And not just in the subject matter, but like they went to extra lengths. Yeah, that sounds right. But yeah, the idea there was, you know, freak them out. You know, freak them out by making the battlefield a haunted house, essentially. With all of the atmosphere that you would normally find in, you know, a really creepy haunted house. And like that got us talking about how like PsyOps is kind of a very strange sort of way to fight a war, because it plays on the things people believe, which is, you know, excellent fodder for my podcast, because my podcast is exploring the weird things people believe. And we know the government's exploited this stuff before. Hold on, I think my audio's desyncing again. There we go. As a hypnotist, the belief structures of people is fascinating, because it heavily influences how susceptible a person will be to a hypnosis session. As a magician, this stuff interests me because, like, what a person believes about magic or, you know, supernatural stuff really tells a lot about whether or not... yes, I am a hypnotist and a magician. Or at least I'm trying to be. I'm studying to be. I have hypnotized my friend Zeph, who is my co-host on the podcast. I didn't hypnotize her on the podcast, but she's kind of my assistant for various weird projects that I do. So when I got into hypnosis, I was like, hey, let me try hypnotizing you. And, you know, she was down to give it a shot because, you know, it's interesting stuff, and she had never experienced hypnosis before. So we set up a video session. I did manage to put her into a hypnotic trance. Didn't do anything with the hypnotic trance while she was under, because I honestly wasn't expecting it to even work the first time. So I didn't have any, like, suggestions prepared. But sure enough, over video chat, I was able to, quote, put the whammy on her. She gets paid, like, $20 every 2 weeks. Which is nothing. It's barely covers the cost of dinner, but, like, she lives in Iowa, and I still live in Minnesota. And, what she helps me with, basically, is just, like, oh, hey, you know, join me for this podcast, and, like, you know, we'll talk about ridiculous, crazy stuff, or, you know, I need a second player on this video game for Xbox, you know, come help kill this boss, that kind of stuff. Most of the time, I pay her in expensive technology, like new headphones, a new Kindle, a new controller for her Xbox or something, because she likes to throw her controller. Am I going the right way? I don't think I am. I think I'm going the wrong way. We've already been that way. Like, not to paint an unflattering picture of Zeph in any way, but she has less tolerance for frustration than I do, and sometimes my frustration tolerance isn't that great. Hers is even less so than mine. So she's been known to throw controllers and stuff. But, like, the tasks I give her to help me out with, usually pretty mundane, simple stuff. Like, hey, I need I need advice for a color palette for this website. Or, things like that. Because when it comes to colors, I'm terrible. I'm terrible at colors. I may as well be colorblind because I grew up in a house where, the main decorator, my mother, was colorblind. So, really have no, like, solid, basic concept of, like, what's complementary and whatnot, because to me, like, harsh contrasts and stuff aren't so bothersome. The sort of visual elements, color-wise, that would bother other people, it doesn't bother me at all. So, if I need, like, regular human eyeballs on something, I usually go to her. Am I going the right way? Where am I going? Do I even know where I am? Okay, that's where I am. Let's see here. Okay, that was the various suit and wave beam if we go that way. So we do want to go this way. Normally Zeph spends whatever money I do give her for helping me out on Elder Scrolls Online crates and crowns. So basically I fuel her her loot box addiction for that game. Which questions are rhetorical? The am I going the right way? Yes. Because I have no idea. Oh, get out of the water. Water is not good. Or at least that water isn't. But, let's see. Where am I going now? Alright, so we went down and under. Okay, I need to get to looking at this part of the map now. And slide. Okay, there we go. Maybe. Oh yeah, those are usually rhetorical because you guys aren't looking at a map. I'm actually looking at a map, and I still have no idea where I'm going. Because, I mean, why would I know where I'm going? Alright, so we got that one and we got that one. I need to fight that one and that one. But the way to get there is that way. Okay. We're on the right track! I'm pretty sure. Yeah, my audio's desynced again. Ugh, this is gonna be a frustrating issue for a while. I have to figure out why that's happening now. It might be because I am taking the audio directly from the capture card instead of having that loaded in as a microphone or a audio input separately. Because before I was doing video and audio as separate inputs. Same physical device, just in OBS, it was run as, you know, two separate things. And I thought, okay, it's a little weird that I have to do that. So I thought, I'll get rid of the one, and I'll just take the audio straight from the capture card. That seems to be when my problem with the audio desyncing started. Okay, did I go the right way? Yes. Yes, I did. So I might have to split that up again, just so that I don't have to keep... So I don't have to keep resetting the capture card. Alright, let's see. We need to climb. That's what we need to do. But yeah, so far on my podcast, we've talked about Bigfoot, Loch Ness Monster, Scottish Kelpies, which are a weird folklore kind of, you know, horse thing that turns into a person. We've talked about the Flatwoods Monster, the Kentucky Goblins, the Grafton Monster, a little bit about aliens. There's probably going to be a lot more talk about aliens, though, of course, because that's a topic that almost never runs out of steam. There we go. We haven't talked a lot about ghosts. Despite the fact that that's actually a topic I have quite a history with. Okay, how do I get out of here? Ah, there we go. Thought I was stuck for a second. In fact, I have a few good ghost stories. So at some point, it's probably going to be talked about. I have spent time as a ghost hunter. That was pretty fun. Alright, let's see here. Now, hold on. Okay, I have to be there. Sorry, totally lost. I was looking in the wrong spot as far as, like, where I am. Ah, it's a trick floor. And it got me. I've probably talked about it in my gaming streams, but weirdly enough, haven't really discussed the whole ghost thing on my podcast. But that's another one that there's a lot of ground to cover with ghosts and spooky sightings and stuff. Yeah. See, I know I've talked about that on one of my streams, but haven't really dived into that topic on my podcast, where honestly, that's where I should be talking about that stuff. Yeah, this is the way I want to go. Talked about voodoo and hoodoo and some of the interesting cultures and religions that have sprung up as a result of African Americans being brought over to the United States for the purposes of slavery and having Christianity forced on them. Because it turns out when you do stuff like that, you get some very weird belief structures. But, you also get very interesting practices like painting your porch roof blue. Here in the United States, it's kind of a thing. And this started from the days of slavery, where they would paint the porch roof sky blue. This is apparently to ward off ghosts. Oh, let's see, where am I? Okay, if it's going to be anywhere, it's going to be here. There we go. Yep, my audio's desynced again. There we go. Now, some people would just see, you know, the porch painted blue and think nothing of it. They wouldn't know that that's actually meant to ward off evil spirits. Wouldn't be the sort of thing that crosses their mind. Oh, we're falling. We're falling. Okay, stop falling. There we go. In an upcoming podcast, not the one that we're recording tomorrow, but in a future one, we're going to be talking about werewolves, which is another topic I'm kind of excited about because it's one of those creatures that have, you know, intrigued mankind for quite a while. All right. Should be an alpha here. Yep, there he is. Boy, that guy did a pretty decent number on us. But, what actually has inspired me to take on the werewolf conversation is one of the sort of pop culture authors in the field of hypnosis has written a book on the subject. And I have, like... Well, I have every book this author has written. And he's written, like, somewhere around 20, 21 books now. Now, he likes to proclaim that he is the best-selling author in hypnosis on Amazon. And he's not wrong about that, but like the implication there is that it's because he's the most knowledgeable and, you know, etc. That's not true. He's all right. Like his books are okay, but he is the cheapest. His books are usually around $3 a piece, whereas the serious hypnosis books are usually around like $50 a piece. So, it's kind of misleading for him to call himself the, you know, any kind of authority. Yeah, exactly. It's no mystery as to why he's the best-selling author when he sells all his books for $3 a piece. And, like, the serious books on the matter are, you know, 10 times that. I don't read his books with any level of seriousness. I mean, he's got some good notes in there. He's not, you know, he's not misinforming the people reading his books about, like, hypnosis techniques and whatnot, but they're basically a Cliff Notes version of, you know, the kind of stuff that you get in the more serious textbooks on the subject, the more serious references. And his most recent book, and he cranks these out pretty fast, but at at $3 a piece, it's like, I can throw $3 at the guy, big deal. It's kind of fun reading his books, also, because he's weird. But his most recent book covers the phenomenon of werewolves. Now, he's not saying werewolves are real. They exist, and you should, start hanging wolfbane on your door and get your silver bullets or anything like that. No. Not that level of crazy. But he's trying to make a case for psychopathy as an explanation for the werewolf myth. Basically, stop falling. Werewolves are a metaphor for this actual thing. Where people are just crazy. And in a way, he does make a few good points, but at the same time, I don't feel like he's treading new ground with his book. I'm pretty sure other people have drawn this conclusion as well. But at $3, figured I'd pick it up. I mean, the book costs less than a sandwich, so, I don't exactly feel bad throwing $3 at something. Even if it turns out to be not very good. Ow. Okay, those things hurt me. Where did I end up? Okay, I ended up there. If I go down, there is a serious Metroid. Also some health. But, I'm not sure why he chose to suddenly go from writing about hypnosis to writing about supernatural stuff. I mean, the whole mental health aspect of the case he's trying to make does jive with his normal rhetoric of, but it's really off-brand. maybe after 20 some books, he's finally, you know, the well's dried up. Needs something else to cover for a bit. I mean, that's entirely possible. But, one thing that I find hilarious is every time it seems that someone studies hypnosis, it doesn't take long for them to start looking into things like magic and, you know, weird superstitions and beliefs and stuff. Sometimes to the detriment of their reputation as a hypnotist. Lot of famous groundbreaking researchers in the realm of hypnosis basically watched their career tank because they followed it up by getting into clairvoyance and ESP and that kind of stuff. And it's like, okay, just because there is evidence that this one thing is legit and works and, you know, is a weird, unexplained kind of thing, doesn't mean that everything is going to turn out to be that same way. So I'm hoping that it's not like, you know, his first step into that kind of, you know, oh, now I'm going to start, you know, trying to match everything up to you know, weird tricks of the brain, and that there's something to this whole psychic phenomena kind of stuff. Like, I hope he doesn't end up going that route, because others have tried. It doesn't end well. Me, I don't believe in psychics. Have I hunted ghosts? Have I done that kind of stuff? Sure. But again, more leaning towards the skeptic side of things when it comes to that kind of stuff. I have room for belief that, you know, there is something strange in the universe, but, like, I do not believe Grandma is hanging around to tell you, you know, she left the, you know, the world famous cookie recipe, you know, in the back of the cupboard somewhere. Like, it's a step too far, you know? Weird things happen? Yes. This I believe. But we have to temper that belief with what we can prove, you know? A lot of people wish ghosts were real. And it's honestly a thing that it's natural for people to want to believe, despite the fact that it is kind of scary to, you know, to meet something like that face to face. But the reason why people choose to believe in it, the reason why people want so desperately for it to be true, is it would answer a lot of questions. Have I destroyed them all? I think I've destroyed them all. My audio's desyncing again. Yeah, I'm gonna have to put that back to the way it was, because I don't think I'm doing myself any favors with the change I made for that. But, yeah. Wanting ghosts to be real would make the world, you know, if they were real. If ghosts were real, it would make things more interesting. It would mean that there's some kind of afterlife. Maybe not the afterlife that, you know, they teach you about in church or whatever, but something. And there's at least one more mystery, one more realm of, you know, unknown to explore. And, like, I love watching ghost videos myself. I am a fan of that kind of stuff. I usually watch as a... Do I know any good YouTube channels on the subject? Honestly, no. There used to be. But the last good ones that I saw, they kind of got bumped off when YouTube started doing their weeding out of anyone who had conspiracies and stuff in the name of their channel, or, you know, any of that kind of stuff. There was one YouTuber who I was watching, but my god, did he ever get super, super annoying. The content he would find for his videos was great. But I could not stand his narration. I couldn't stand it. He found some decent videos, but the way he delivered the content drove me freaking nuts. Oh, let me see if I can even try. You know what? I'm not even going to try. I'm not even going to try to imitate his speaking style. You can probably find the videos, or you've probably already encountered them. Dude goes by the name of Chills, or something like that. His YouTube channel is pretty well known at this point, I feel like. If you're not familiar, feel free to look him up. I can't watch his videos anymore. I just can't do it, because, like I said, his form of narration, it has a very set pattern. He never changes it up. And it's not just he speaks in a monotone sort of way that's kind of creepy. It's ridiculously annoying. To the point where, like, his inflection in the things he says ends up not matching the things he says, because he's doing it to maintain a pattern in his speech. And it makes it really hard to watch some of his videos. And when you find him, when you've watched a few of his videos, or just a few minutes of his videos, you'll figure out what I'm talking about. I don't know if he's still even making videos, because it's been like a few years since I stopped watching his stuff, but occasionally I run into it on like Facebook and stuff. But you know how Facebook videos are. They can usually be recycled junk from who knows when. But, yeah, had to stop watching just because the dude's narration was driving me nuts. If he wasn't so... still active? I'm hoping he's learned to change up his narration. For a brief while, I think he had even brought in like a second person to do some of the videos for his channel, but like not enough of them. Now, the videos, the spooky ghost stories and whatnot that he finds for his content, decent. I mean, a lot of it's taken from Reddit, though, which, I'm sorry. If you're finding it on Reddit, it's probably made up. But, you know, still decent. He would find some actual, like, here's a clip of something somebody caught on tape kind of stuff. And he was finding decent ones. I don't know if his quality has still been maintained. Because like I said, it's been a while since I've watched his videos. Does he still talk the annoying way that... Because he used to have the exact same inflection on the end of every single sentence. Whether it is a question or not. And, oh man, it drove me absolutely crazy trying to watch him. Because, yeah. Oh, let's see here. Where am I? Am I there? I hope I'm there, because I'm trying to make my way back to the ship. I don't know if that's where I'm supposed to be going, but I'm really low on missiles, and I know I can get missiles at my ship. But, yeah, you'll have to check out some of his videos. If you can tolerate the really awful way in which, like, he seems just dead set on maintaining this speaking pattern, which... I don't know if he thinks it just makes his videos creepier, but to me, it just made his videos unwatchable. You know? I wish I knew the other ones that I was watching, but they're not even around anymore. Like, their channels got taken down because, like I said, there was a moment there where YouTube fed into the algorithm that anything having to do with conspiracies got the axe. And it ended a lot of channels. A lot of channels that actually didn't need to be ended. It probably ended a lot of good channels, or not good channels, but like, there were probably some good candidates for getting the axe that it probably eliminated, but unfortunately it also got rid of some really good content makers, just because the content they made, in addition to, you know, ghosts and Bigfoot and cryptid videos, would be, you know, these are the weird conspiracies people believe. One of them is still around, though. They have, however, kind of rebranded their channel a little bit, so they're less about ghosts and more just, you know, surprising facts and stuff. And I don't think I've seen them actually do any spooky supernatural stuff in a very long while. Most of it's just political now. But it's, was it top 5s or top 10s? I don't know. Something like that. But they used to have a conspiracy in the name before they changed it to whatever it is now. And, like, they weren't promoting ridiculous conspiracies, they were just discussing them as a, here's something we have found on the internet that people seem to be getting behind. We're gonna present you the facts. Make up your own dang mind about, you know, whether or not this is something you're gonna choose to follow. We're gonna tell you what it's about, and, like, we're not going to be judgmental, but we're also not going to be like, oh yeah, the Earth is flat, lizard people are real, and, you know... No, they didn't... They were very... You know... very skeptical about things, as one should be. But when you're making that kind of content on YouTube, it's very easy to be lumped in with the people who are believing in the fanatical nonsense. I don't suppose we're able to get... Nope. That's still gonna kill us. We're not gonna go there. It's very easy to get lumped in with the crazies, essentially. So you do have to be careful. One of the things I do with my podcast on the weird and unusual is I take a look at the strange stories that you've probably seen, you know, make the thumbnail of Facebook videos and stuff, like the giant finger of Egypt. And I'll actually give my honest opinion as a skeptic what is wrong with the evidence that they're presenting. And why it doesn't, you know, why it doesn't, you know, meet the threshold for adequate evidence of, you know, strange phenomena. And I feel that that is an important, that's an important thing to do when you're presenting that kind of stuff, because people want to believe in things. Oh yeah, I forgot about that little tunnel there. People want to believe that, you know, the world is more mysterious and, you know, fantastic and that science hasn't quite, quite found all the answers. Science hasn't found all the answers. Science is not even claiming that it's found all the answers. But when it comes to certain things, like, it's been pretty well beat to death as far as the research goes. And there's only so far that you can take some of that content. There's only so far that you can go with some of those beliefs and things. And there are going to be people who believe in believe in taking things further than they really should. For example, y'all know the pop star Demi Lovato? She's got a show that is available on Peacock where shortly after she had her own little weird experience with a UFO in the desert, she decides she's going to become an investigator into these kinds of things, and she starts her own reality show about it. Well, there's some very serious issues with the way in which she goes about investigating UFOs. And it's the approach that I refer to as so open-minded your brain falls out. Because it's literally just that open-minded about things. Like, you could tell her, oh, I ran into Cookie Monster yesterday. He says to say hello. And she wouldn't know that you're kidding. She absolutely wouldn't question it. And that type of investigating worries me. Because I feel like it gives a platform to people who don't need a platform. They need mental help. You know, they need a mental health professional. Now, I ain't saying everybody's crazy. But, you know, schizophrenics hallucinate. You know? Not everybody who sees things should be trusting their own eyes. Not every belief is valid and going to be vindicated at some point. I definitely encourage a pursuit of the truth, but the caveat being, you also have to have evidence. You cannot just blindly believe in everything. Because then you'll believe in everything. And then you'll be lied to. A lot. A lot. And people will lie to you because it gets them that, you know, few minutes of fame. You know? One of the people that she interviewed in the one episode that I watched of her show The woman clearly needed help. She'd basically thrown away all of her social connections and whatnot in pursuit of this idea that she didn't have a series of miscarriages. She, you know, was part of this experiment, and her children are now living on a spaceship somewhere. Now, harsh reality is she went through some stuff, and she should probably be speaking to a psychiatrist. But instead of that, no, she's finding platform for her incredibly outlandish claims, and I don't think it's healthy. Now, some people might disagree with me on, like, you know, my analysis of the situation, but, like, if you have people, you know, giving you a platform for, you know, unfounded beliefs, you will end up feeling validated because people are listening to you. And it will make it that much more painful to face reality. So I honestly feel like they're doing a great disservice by giving some of these people a platform. Okay, there's still got to be one out here somewhere. We had to have missed one. We got that one. We got that one. I think we got that one. And that one. But, yeah. So one thing I don't want to do with my podcast is just entertain every stupid notion and every, you know, every weirdo who's got a story. So, I encourage people to share their story on my Discord. Right? Some grief counseling would be a much better use of her time instead of parading her out on your reality show to talk about her space babies. You know? Because one of those is feeding into a delusion, and the other would be actually dealing with the trauma that she has gone through and coping with it. And, the other thing, the very next thing on the episode of the show that I watched, the one episode that I watched, they followed that interview up with Demi going to see a hypnotist to do regressive hypnotherapy. Regressive hypnotherapy is when you're put into a hypnotic trance and then you're taken back to a specific point in your life to re-experience what happened. There is a lot of debate as to whether or not this is actually even a good idea. Some people take the belief a little far. And they do a okay, I think I have to go after that one. They take it a little far, and they do past life regressive hypnotherapy, where they believe they've lived as somebody else, and through hypnosis, the memories of this past life can be revealed to them, and they can deal with whatever traumas they endured during that past life. I take issue with that because it's founded entirely on a belief in reincarnation, which there's no evidence for. There's no evidence for reincarnation. No scientific evidence, anyway. There is anecdotal evidence. There are plenty of people who are like, "Oh yeah, I've experienced, I've had past lives." But there's zero proof for any of that. And you can't base an entire, Huh. I don't think I am where I thought I was. Yeah, no, I'm not where I thought I was at all. Where am I? Okay. I'm there. Okay. I still have to go up and around that. That's what I gotta do. Because, yeah, I don't think I can go this way, can I? No. We were lost. I have figured out where I'm at. But, yeah, so after interviewing the crazy lady who really needed grief counseling, instead of a platform on which to talk about her weird ideas of what she would rather believe happened to her than what actually happened, Demi went to go get regressive hypnotherapy. In order to find out if during her own UFO encounter, if she got taken aboard the ship. Now, if we were going to consider any legitimacy to the idea of the oh, I gotta figure out this flying thing. If there was going to be any legitimacy to the hypnotherapy that Demi was about to undergo, one, the hypnotherapist should be very impartial to this whole belief in aliens thing. Maybe not skeptical, but at least impartial. The hypnotist that they went to go see, impartial is about the furthest you could get. from their attitude on this whole alien abduction thing. Like, their entire mission was to confirm that Demi was abducted by aliens. Whether or not that was actually the case didn't seem to matter. The journey that they were going to go on in this regressive hypnotherapy session was... Oh, yep, there we go. Was that they were going to revisit the time Demi was taken aboard the alien spacecraft. And when you're already starting with that, it's reality that she was taken aboard the spacecraft, you've already failed in your mission. It's no longer an impartial, you know, sort of thing. It's just, okay, now I'm going to give you the false memory of having been taken aboard a spaceship. Because false memory is a thing. There have been numerous experiments that have been able to prove this phenomenon exists. And the way it works is, if you believe that a memory is valid and that it happened to you, your brain will attempt to fill in details that it has forgotten. One such experiment, they brought in a bunch of people to interview them. And as part of the interview process, they interviewed family members, people who know them. Oh no! We're gonna have this happen again. Okay. But, you know, people who could provide some backstory, some actual, you know, things that happened. And, so during the interview, they would talk about actual experience the person had, that they had proof of, because, you know, other people were there. But then they also made up some stuff. Like, they would talk about, you know, oh, do you remember the time you went on that balloon trip when you were younger? Do you remember that time you took a helicopter ride? Do you remember that time that you were lost in the mall? Things that never actually happened to them, but because of the context in which it was presented, and it was presented as though this actually happened, their brain would fill in details of a totally made-up event. And after the interview, it was revealed that some of these things never really happened. And they asked him, where did you come up with these details for this thing that never really happened to you? Do you know where your brain came up with that? And, like, the person being interviewed, no idea. They had no idea. They just thought, you know, it was legit a memory that they were having. Okay, we gotta go back to there. Okay. Oh, that's not too far. But, yeah. So that's why I have a problem with regressive hypnotherapy. If you're not doing it right, you run a very substantial risk of filling somebody's head with blocked memories that are actually just fake memories. Things that never really happened to them. And the hypnotist that they went to see on that show, like, that was their entire mission, was to make them remember being taken aboard a spaceship. Not impartial at all. Just, oh, you've been taken aboard a spaceship. Let me help you unlock those memories now. Not exactly, you know, the most scientific approach at all. And genuinely just a terrible way to go about things. Now, I'm not going to go ahead and say all regressive hypnotherapy is bogus. But you really do have to know what the hell you're doing for it to be, you know, actually not garbage. Okay, so that's not what opened up. Okay, I see where it opened up. Oh, no, get out of there. We don't want to be in there. That is not good. Okay, we're out of the soup. So yeah, if I ever do hypnotherapy, which is, you know, one of the things I'd like to be able to offer, you know, because one thing this pandemic really taught me was, you got to take what you can do and fit it to the situation in which it's useful. And when I first got into hypnosis, my intent was stage hypnosis. You know? Fun for parties. Great sort of supplement to my magic act. Pandemic happened, close-up magic was pretty well canceled for the foreseeable future. I mean, it's coming back a little bit. People are finding ways to deal with the new normal of this situation. Oh, let's see. I mean, we're still not quite back to fully normal with things like the performing arts and whatnot, but it's getting better. You can now go see concerts and stuff again. But, one thing I found that, since I can hypnotize people over video chat, I could offer hypnotherapy via, like, Zoom and Facebook and stuff like that. I don't need to do an in-person hypnosis act. I could do a hypnotherapy session by video chat. So, the the hypnosis stuff that I had been studying took a little bit of a shift from, rapid inductions and whatnot, that are the kind of thing you see a magician do, to, more hypnotherapy-minded kind of stuff. I do have a book on regressive hypnotherapy, or therapeutic regression with hypnosis. I haven't studied it very much, just because I don't know if it's a service that I would even want to offer, simply because it's too easy to screw it up. Because in those cases, like as I said, it's real easy to give somebody, false memory, or, suggest details that weren't there in their own memory, if you're not careful, and intentional or not. You may go into it being well-intentioned, but, you may not realize that you accidentally suggested that there might have been a detail in their story that they missed. And then you end up triggering the formation of a false memory. So it's a bit of a minefield, that one. Which is why I think I would rather just avoid that entire aspect of it. You can still do a lot with hypnosis and hypnotherapy without doing regressive work. There's no reason to revisit past traumas to fix current issues. There's no evidence that that's actually something anyone needs to do. So while it is a subject that at some point I will study up on, it's probably never a service I'm going to offer. It's too easy to get it wrong. Way too easy to get it wrong. Oh yeah. The audio is well out of sync there. There we go. So, when I do my my investigating, my research for my podcast, and I'm reading up on things, and I'm watching videos and whatnot, I have to keep vigilant for certain things. But through experience, I have really gotten good at knowing what sort of things to keep my eye out for. Like, when you see that somebody's passed a polygraph test, that doesn't mean anything. When you, when you find out that somebody recalled further memory after you know, undergoing hypnosis, that doesn't mean anything. And honestly should probably just be ignored unless you know the hypnotist. But, there was a movie where they kind of explored the aspect of alien abductees having these memories restored to them through hypnosis. I can't remember the name of the movie. I watched it not that long ago. Fourth Kind or something like that. Not the Steven Spielberg Close Encounters of the, you know, whatever. It's got the that actress from the Resident Evil movies. Anyway, the whole thing is in this little town in Alaska. For whatever reason, everybody seems to be having these terrible dreams, these horrible experiences, and this woman and her husband were using hypnosis to try to, you know, explore the root of these folks' issues. And her husband dies or something. Like, the movie starts after, I believe, his death or his disappearance. I can't remember which way they tried to roll with that. But their whole thing is using hypnosis to unlock these you know, these memories that either they've blocked out through trauma or the aliens have, you know, erased from their mind because they have some kind of mind erasing technology or something. But the movie was sold as based on a true story. Probably won't surprise any of you to know that it is absolutely not based on a true story. Am I going... Where am I? That's what I need to figure out. Where have I disappeared to? But, the producers of this movie actually got in trouble for some of the claims they made. Okay, I think I see where I'm at. Yeah, okay, this makes sense now. I know where I'm at. Maybe. I mean, we're making pretty good progress. We only have 15 more Metroid to kill. When we started, We had like 25 or something. So we're making good progress. But yeah. Hypnosis is useful for some things. It can help you remember things you have forgotten. It won't give you a super memory. It won't make your memory infallible. But, like, say I'm helping someone stop smoking. There was a time in their life where they didn't smoke. That is true. Nobody is born smoking. And if you are, well, there's probably a lot more going on there that would be worth unpacking, but you're going to need more than a hypnotist to help you deal with those issues. One proper use. And hold on, I gotta scroll my map here. Okay, I am there. There's one there, and there's one there. Okay. We'll go after this one first, I think. So, like the whole, you know, helping someone remember a past behavior or something can be useful in hypnosis. Oh. Oh, that's what we're supposed to be doing. Okay. But using hypnosis to unlock past memories, I don't buy it as a useful therapeutic tool. Usually if people don't want to remember something, there's a good reason for that. I mean, putting someone back in the mindset that they had before they started developing a particular bad habit, useful. Convincing someone that they were taken aboard a spaceship and experimented on, traumatizing. You know? Because that's their reality now. Whether it's actually reality doesn't matter. You've now exposed them to this idea that they were experimented on, they were traumatized, and like they now have to live in that reality. And I don't know why anyone would want to do that to people. I mean, that's not entirely true. I can understand why some people would want to do that to people because, you know, they could charge a lot of money for that kind of therapy. Oh yeah, I'll help you remember the aliens. Just, you know, don't forget my fee of a few $100,000. Oh, you're doing this for a reality show? Well, hey, free advertising, right? I mean, they certainly aren't going into it with the best of intentions, hoping to help people, though. And that's what I have a problem with. Because if you're gonna be a therapist, if you're gonna be the sort of person someone goes to for help, you should be actually helpful. You shouldn't make their issues worse by loading them up with nonsense of, oh, I now believe I was abducted by aliens, when in fact they weren't. Alright. We have just done a thing, and now I have to figure out where we're supposed to go next, because that was number 5. Okay, number 6 is back that way, and now here's where the map gets real confusing, because it jumps from one side to the other side, and there's not a whole lot of congruency as to why they do that. Other than they just can't fit the stuff on the map the way that they should, because the layout of this game, it would make more sense if it was in 3D. Am I going the right way? I don't feel like I'm going the right way. No, I just came from this way. I need to go down. I need to get out of this mess. That's what I need to do. There we go. Okay. This way. I might have to go back to my ship. Ow. I gotta stop bouncing off of spikes and stuff. And enemies. This is not Metroid Pinball. Okay. I think I'm going the right way. Yes. Now, last night, we actually had a bit of a weird experience here happen at the house. My mother has installed a camera system. Because she's kind of paranoia-minded, but also when she's at work, she likes to be able to look in on her cats because it makes her day just to be able to watch her kitty cats playing around in the living room and stuff. My mom is a weird, kind of crazy cat lady person, so, you know. Anyway. Last night, she comes downstairs and shows me this video from one of the cameras. And on the video, there is a weird little thing that can't be identified that looks as though it is scurrying along the dining room floor, but the weird part is the thing changes size drastically for a thing to be scurrying along the floor. And also, couldn't possibly be a fully solid object because it has a very ethereal transparency to it. My audio's desynced again. I gotta fix this. I gotta fix the audio on this. I'm gonna work on that this afternoon. But, I'm not saying it's ghosts, but it looks like our kitchen is haunted by a ghost hamster. At least in the video. That's what it appears. That's how it appears. Do I think what was caught on that video is a ghost? No. No. It looks weird. But I am pretty sure we don't have ghost rats. I mean, I'm pretty sure we don't have rats in general, but the video sure does show something strange crawl across the living room, or the dining room floor. Or at least, that's what it looks like. It could very well be just a piece of dust floating in front of the camera, and just because of the way it appears on the video, it looks to be crawling on the floor. But it really does look like it's crawling. Oh, saving. I'm gonna have full health by the time I get back to my spaceship. Like, that was what I was going for. Going back to my spaceship to refill my health and missiles, but my missiles, I think, are still full. And my health is, it's definitely not as low as when I started this little journey back to the spaceship. Okay. How far in are we? We're almost to 3 hours. Okay. So very soon I will probably want to go get some lunch. Start planning for the rest of my day. But let's try to get back to... There we go. Alright, save there. Oh, scroll my map so I can see where the heck I am. Okay, I am there. I need to get down through there, into there, and down there, and then through there. And once I've gotten through there, I don't see any place to save the game. So let's go there and save. Well, don't let me keep you from any important tasks you need to be doing. But, I am going to be wrapping it up here pretty soon. Because, like I said, I need to go get some lunch. But I need to find a save point closer to where we're going to be next time, so I don't have to make this long trek back. Because we've only got 13 more Metroid to hunt down. They're going to get tougher from here, though. So, the next territory that we have to clear out, I'm a little puzzled by it because it appears to have a wave beam, plasma beam, spacer, 2 energy tanks, 2 more energy tanks, but I don't think we can hold 2 more energy tanks, so, like, there's an ice beam, there's all kinds of things in this area that's coming up. The thing, though, that I am most interested in getting my hands on, though, the screw attack appears to be in this next territory. Oh, my audio keeps desyncing. Yeah, I'm gonna fix that this afternoon. Okay, now, am I... Okay, I am there. So we need to go down. This is probably one of the most confusing Metroid maps because there aren't very handy, easy identifiable, like, sections. Yeah, hey, thanks for joining me. Thanks for hanging out, and, you know, we'll see you next time for Super Metroid on Thursday. Unless you guys are going to be here for the coding session on Wednesday. Y'all probably missed the podcast recording session on Tuesday because that's at a very unusual time. It's 8 p.m. here when we get around to recording that, but Zeph's a bit of a vampire. She, doesn't do well in the daylight, so to keep her migraines from being triggered, we've taken to recording after sunset. When everything's much more tolerable. But Wednesday will be introduction to CSS, web development. Yeah, kind of a late night. Actually, it might even be like ridiculously early morning there. I haven't done the math, but if I remember right, you guys are about 7 hours, so it's like it'd be 3 in the morning. Or something for you guys to join us for the podcast. But the code session on Wednesday. Last Wednesday we did a bit of HTML. Not a real super everything you need to know kind of in-depth course, but like the important basics. And Wednesday I'm introducing... yeah, you guys are 7 hours ahead. Yeah, Wednesday, I'm introducing some CSS so that we can introduce more of the HTML, but when we have something we can do with it. Because I want to talk about, like, the container elements, div and span. But, like, those things don't mean anything in HTML just by themselves. I mean, they're elements on the web page, but until you can style them, they don't even appear any different than, like, everything else on the page. So, I want to be introducing CSS elements at the same time that I'm introducing those HTML tags that you can actually do something with them. Because I feel like a lot of the tutorials I've seen, they have that disconnect, because they tell you about, oh, you know, there's all the different tags, and we're going to go through all the different tags, and all the different tags, and all the different tags. Then we're going to jump over to CSS and talk about all the different rules and stuff in CSS, but, you know, like, they don't really show you so much how they work together by introducing them at the same time, you know? You've forgotten half of what you know about div, like, by the time you actually get to being able to do something with it. So, and yeah, div and span, you really do have to know those, especially for modern day web development and parts of, you know, aspects of that, like responsive web design. And the tutorial I'm doing for the front-end development is going to be responsive web development, like, oh, what's the word? Compliant, essentially. The CSS I'm going to show people how to do, it's not going to be pointless CSS as in, here's all the different rules, because I'm not going to be able to cover every stupid rule in CSS that you could potentially run into. I'm not going to run into or run through every kind of, you know, setting you can change and whatnot, because we would be on that forever. But what I want to be able to show is, here are the most common things you're going to need to know. Here are the most common things you're going to want to implement on your page. And here is a basic standard to get you started and not be a complete noob. And here's where to go for more information on that. So that, like, if there is an element I haven't talked about, or a property that I didn't cover, and you want to know how to work with that, you know where to look for it. But you'll start with a base knowledge of, you know, here's how to do a basic HTML, CSS layout that looks good on any device, and will actually transform depending upon the size of the window that you're looking at it through. So if you're looking at it on mobile, it looks good on mobile. If you're looking at it on a desktop, looks good on a desktop. If you're looking at it on a tablet, which is somewhere in the middle, if we need to change the layout so it looks good on that middle ground, it'll look good on that middle ground. It's going to be, you know, design reflective of what's expected in a modern standard, but not so heavy-handed as to expect you to go straight into, like, you know, being a web developer freelance after you've learned all this. No, you'll be able to make cool little JavaScript sort of games that you can play on your phone or your desktop, and it'll look good on both. That's my aim. But to get from where we started with a base knowledge of 0 to that point, there's a lot of ground to cover. But I'm going to try to cover that ground quickly and effectively. And we got a good base knowledge of HTML to start with, so we're good there. Thursday we'll be back to playing Super Metroid. We have been having an awesome time with that, even though we've only played one session so far. It's been going exceptionally well, just like this one. This one I feel like has been going exceptionally well. We didn't die once today, which is impressive for a Metroid game. I feel like, you know, not dying is a really good really good achievement here. So I'm gonna celebrate that this afternoon. Um, oh, we did get lost. Yes, got lost a lot more than twice, I think. But that happens in a Metroid game. That happens all the time. We still don't have an in-game map. That didn't get introduced until Super Metroid. Uh, from that point on, like, it's a lot easier to find your way around. Because you can just look at your map and be like, okay, I'm there. Clearly, that's where I'm at. With ones like this and the first one, even if you have a map, like, you don't have a handy little blinking thing on your map to tell you where you are, because your map isn't in the game. Your map is a piece of paper, or a web page, or something that you're looking at that's completely independent of the game you're playing. So, you have to try to figure out where the heck you are. We almost got stuck in a wall, though. There was that one Metroid that we fought that I thought it had us penned in after we killed it. I thought it had knocked us through a wall or something. And it took me a good minute to find my way out of it. Yes, no lava. No lava traps. We haven't died in lava in a very long while. Which is, honestly, kind of a relief. But, I think that'll do it for me today. We're just about at 3 hours. That's a pretty decent session, I feel like. We got 13 Metroid left to find. For next time, we have a whole new area to explore, but getting there from here, this is probably the closest save point. So, we'll launch our exploration from this spot. Oh, there is a save point in that area, but getting to it's kind of a pain in the butt. So, we're not going to worry about that right now. We're going to worry about dealing with that next Monday. Let's see, what else we got going on? Thursday, Super Metroid. We're just going to continue our progress there. Friday, more Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. We still have to get Lord of the Mountain and the rest of the Hyrule Compendium. We've got a few more entries we can get there. And then we've got a session or two where we're breaking stuff and trying out Master Mode and all of the fun things there are to still do in Breath of the Wild, even after you've completely beaten the crap out of Breath of the Wild. Because, believe it or not, in an open world game, when you're done, you're still not done. There's still a lot to do. So we're going to do that. We're gonna get the full completion of everything. And then we're going to see what kind of glitches and stuff. Yeah, I heard there was a new glitch that lets you do item replication, which is a thing I don't want to do until, like, I've completely exhausted all of the things. We've already got the Korok seeds, so I don't need to replicate Korok seeds. I want to get all of my star fragments legitimately, until I've upgraded all of my armor and stuff. After that, it doesn't matter. Like, you know, I'll sell them at a merchant or something. Yeah, star fragments, those would be the thing to item duplicate, in this particular game. But I don't want to cheat my way to the, I don't want to cheat my way to the accomplishments for Breath of the Wild. After I've reached the accomplishments, I'll cheat a whole bunch of, random crap into the game so that we have things to, things to play around with so that we can see what we can break. Can we fill a valley with just endless star fragments and then run through it? Who knows? Maybe. Is there a little diving pond that we can maybe possibly overload with fish and then just dive into it and see if it's still something we can swim in? I don't know. We'll find out. For things like that, item duplication will be handy. Finding an enemy camp and replacing all of their weapons with Korok leaves. That's another fun one that's always good for a laugh, but, way easier to do with item duplication because you only need to start with one Korok leaf and then you just dupe it in until you have a whole bunch of them. That kind of stuff will be fun. And we are going to have at least one session where we're just messing around with stuff like that. And that'll be after we've upgraded all the armor, finished out the compendium, made sure we've really hammered home that we have completed every stupid thing there is to do. And the only thing left to do is to see what we can break. But we're definitely going to do that, and it's going to be fun. So still going to be a couple more sessions of Breath of the Wild before we move on to just doing random games on Fridays. Oh yeah, there will be all kinds of experiments. I read an article on Facebook, actually. It popped up in my news feed that a new Breath of the Wild glitch had been found. And I, since I'm playing that, I was like, I should probably check that out because one of these times I'm going to do one of those sessions where I'm just breaking stuff and experimenting and trying to see what kind of glitches I'm able to replicate. And I got to reading about it, and it sounds like it takes advantage of a previously known glitch. It's just they figured out how to use that previously known glitch in a new way that allows you to duplicate items they didn't know you could duplicate before. Because the way it starts out, you overload the menu by pulling out all of your bows that you can do multiple arrows with, and you make like you're about to fire shock arrows on all of them. And if I'm remembering this right, this somehow overloads the menu to where not everything's loading in properly. And if you move quickly, you take an item that you want to drop or something, or that you want to duplicate, and you drop a bunch of those. And then you take an item that has the amount of how many you want the other item of, but an item that you could easily throw away, like chew jelly or something. And then while you're holding that, you pick up the thing you dropped or something, or you put away the item that you're holding, and then you pick up the new item, and it replaces the thing you just put away with the new item you just picked up in your inventory, so you end up replacing the 14 chew jelly with 30 or with 14 giant core or something like that. I can't remember the exact details entirely, but I did check it out because it is something we're going to try. We're going to give that a shot. But the menu overloading was something that they were doing before, Because that's what led them to figuring out, I think it was item duplicate, or weapon duplicating, if I remember right. They just didn't know how they could get it to work with materials. Like star fragments and, foods and stuff like that. And that's because you have to do that weird little switcheroo where you have to drop something, hold something else, pick up the other thing, after you trigger the menu overloading. So it might be a little tricky to pull it off. I don't know if we're actually going to succeed at it, but we're going to give it a shot. We're going to see if we can make that happen for us. But it's going to be one of those things after we no longer have a need to collect those things, because we're going to do it the hard way first, and then we'll break the game. Because, of course, we're going to break the game. We have to break the game. We have to do all kinds of crazy stuff. So that'll be fun. And I do look forward to that. I'm also looking forward to testing out the various methods of launching ourselves across the map. Because there are some very interesting launch methods that have been discovered. Those are going to be really fun to play with. I don't know if we're actually going to be able to accomplish any of them, but we're going to try. That's the important part. We're going to try. So, all of that coming up on the Breath of the Wild streams on Friday. We're going to keep hammering away at these Metroid playthroughs. Yes, the wind bombs and the BLSS. Yeah, those are going to be fun. Metroid playthroughs. Let's see. I think we might have maybe one more, maybe two more of this one before we're moving on to Metroid Fusion. And Metroid Prime, we're going to kick that one off after we beat Super Metroid, I think. Or I'm just going to do Super Metroid Monday and Thursday until I beat that after I've beaten this one. And then we'll do Prime and Fusion at the same time after both of these are beaten. Not sure which way I'm going to go with that, but once we've beaten these two, we just have the Metroid Prime trilogy to get through, and then we'll be on to Metroid Dread, because we will have beaten Metroid Fusion at the same time we're beating Metroid Prime. So that's what's coming up for that. There might be a timeout somewhere from Metroid for a while to beat another Zelda game or two. Still need suggestions on which ones y'all want to see me take on. We've already done Ocarina of Time. We've already done the original. Other than that, though, it's pretty much wide open. And 100% playthrough on pretty much every Zelda game out there. I mean, that's what's available. So, if there's one you want to see, let me know. I'll throw that in the mix here at some point. And we'll hammer away at that. But that's what's coming up on the channel. Tune in for the content you want to see. I'm here every day, 5 days a week. Still doing the Saturday public domain horror movies. For now, I don't know. It doesn't really seem to be getting much of an audience, so I might replace that with something else. Might start doing something different for Saturdays. Probably still horror related, though. But anyway, I gotta go get some lunch. You all gotta go either get off to bed or getting your chores done or whatever it is you got going on. But thanks for hanging out. Hope you had a great time. And we'll see you next time.